Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily go getimism number 884 for March 5th, 2017. 2017. All right, tonight I want to talk to y'all about a very serious topic, one that we don't always realize exists, and it exists mostly in our psyche, but it's something that I think needs to be addressed, and that is the question of higher education, higher learning, and whether people who pursue multiple degrees are bougie or not. Bougie, bourgeois, the bourgeois. Elitist type of attitude, stuck up, conceited, treat lower level people like peasants. I don't know. From the people that I've known, the people that have had multiple degrees, I haven't noticed them to ever act out of sorts, or I haven't known them to act like they are better than anybody or mistreat people based on what they think they know, or their educational level. And that's whether they are around people who have no high school diploma, or whether they just have gone to college, like how Job said, some college, In other words, you went to college and you dropped out or whatever. I guess the people that I've known have treated people based on the value that those people have shown to those people. The question that I really have is, why would you treat somebody like a peon or a peasant, or like a square, or like a dummy, because they didn't go to school? Like, everybody has value. Everybody has value. No matter whether you went to school or not, more than likely, you have some type of gift that you're able to give to the world. You're able to do something that is of value and is of a good service to somebody. So I don't care if it's being able to take a watch apart and put it all the way back together, or change some brakes, or install a toilet or a light fixture, or to be able to crochet a sweater, or sew a crease in, or hem a pair of pants, to take in a dress, or let out something in order to make more room for somebody who has gained weight, or to fix a computer, or install a program, or whatever it is. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has an ability to be able to do something that is of service to somebody else. So there really isn't any reason to treat somebody like they ain't shit just because they didn't go to school the way you did. And I'm not saying that people who have multiple degrees do that. Like I said, from my experience, that hasn't been my experience with people who have multiple degrees. But other people think differently. Now, the question that we run into when we start talking about people who think differently is, well, what makes them have that type of experience? Is it really the person who has multiple degrees treating people like they aren't worthy, like they don't have value? Or is it an intimidation factor from the person who doesn't have multiple degrees when they find out that somebody does have multiple degrees? Because if you don't know that a person has a master's or 2 or 3 or a PhD or anything like that, then how would you know? Like, are you basing that on the way that they talk, something about their demeanor, what kind of job that you know that they had? Like, what about a person screams, I have a degree, I have multiple degrees, I have a master's, I have a PhD? What is it? Like, I don't know. So, unless a person informs you of that, maybe we make the same types of assumptions of people who have multiple degrees as we do with people who have a lot of money. Sometimes when we know that somebody is very financially well off, we think that they may act snobby. They may act snobby towards people who don't have what they have, or who work for a living. And we all have to work for a living in some kind of way. It's just that some of us may work with our hands, and some of us may work with our minds, or whatever. But nonetheless, we all have to work hard in order to get the things in life that we want, and to put food on our tables, and clothes on our back, and roofs overhead, and then something to drive, and whatever. And still be able to have some fun. So we all have to put in the same work. With our people, us black people, I'm not sure if we can afford to create another division amongst ourselves. Now, that's a funny thing. That's a funny thing about our people in divisions. Because as many divisions as we have, we always find a way to move another one in. We can fit one more division in. So along with skin color, or should I say skin pigmentation, good hair versus bad hair, of course the light skin versus dark skin thing. Now we have the rich and the poor. We have the old and the young. We have the neighborhoods. We have the gang affiliations. Now we have the educated versus the non-educated. But no, we're not stopping there. It's the higher educated versus the, I don't know, undergrad or whatever education. Like, we're raising the bar. We're finding more ways to create divisions. And needless to say, that's very self-destructive, counterproductive. It's not getting us anywhere, yet we find a way to still fit it in. So I'm hoping that this is in all of our minds. I'm hoping that some people are just intimidated by people that they know have higher degrees. Because maybe they speak in a way that shows that they have a vast, I'm sorry, y'all, that shows that they have a vast vocabulary. Which is something that I think is a good thing. If you want to learn more words, play Scrabble against worthy opponents. Learn the words, look them up. Play against the computer. See what type of words they're using. And expand yourself, improve yourself. Allow yourself to grow. Force yourself to grow. Get out of your comfort zone. Because I'm thinking that people who have advanced degrees, multiple, have sought out to improve themselves even if they were already good. Because no matter how good you are, you can always be a little bit better. And there's never anything wrong with trying to improve yourself. Of course, if you're around the wrong people who really just want you to stay the way that you are, and they want to stay where they are, and they want to stay in the same place that they are, in the same environment that they thrive in, but then you're always going to have problems with people like that. Productive people are always going to have problems with stagnant people. Productive people are always going to have problems with stagnant people. That's just the way of the world. It can't be any different than that. I mean, if you're trying to produce, if you're trying to be prolific, if you're trying to build things and advance and go things and expand things, and you're dealing with somebody, or you're dealing with people who want to stay right there because they think that station in life is good enough. All we have to do is keep it right there. That's almost like trying to stay a child for the rest of your life. And there are people who act like they want to be a child for the rest of their life. Excuse me. For the rest of their lives. It doesn't work, but people try. So, we have to do what we have to do. I mean, what's it going to be? I'll say this. For the people who have advanced degrees, who do look down on people who may still be stuck in the hood, or don't have high school diplomas or college degrees, or only have one college degree or whatever, I would encourage you to stop doing that, because we don't need another division amongst ourselves. And for the people who are just intimidated, by people who have advanced degrees and maybe multiple degrees, use them as a valuable resource. See what they know, not just what they have, but see what they know. and see if they're willing to share what they know, any knowledge that they have with you. Make them a resource for you. Sounds good to me. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, when it really all comes down to it, whether you have multiple degrees or whether you lack a high school diploma, an education is what you learn throughout your lifetime. That's your education. So if you're one who travels, if you're one who talks to a lot of people, if you're one who expands yourself, steadily tries to improve yourself, opens your mind, and opens your mind towards learning, you'll always be educated. You'll always have an education. So let's do that. Let's work on that. Alright, let's go. The Daily Go Getimism show is every single day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call-in number is 319-527-6199. Well, log on and listen to the entire show. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. I'll let y'all later.